Hello, my dear friend. Before we set sail into the quiet night, I invite you to get comfortable, to sink into your pillow, feeling the gentle weight of your blanket. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine all the little worries of your day melting away, like tiny grains of sand slipping through your fingers. Breathe in again. Feel your chest rise softly, and let it out slowly, like a warm breeze drifting across a moonlit garden. With every breath, feel your eyelids growing heavier, your mind becoming softer, as if you're floating on a calm, endless sea under a starry sky. Good! You're safe here. Your only job is to rest and listen. Now, our story tonight begins in a place where words glow like lanterns and knowledge whispers like the evening wind, and the ancient city of Alexandria stands, majestic and still, our sandals brushing against warm, smooth stones, illuminating shelves upon shelves of scrolls and papyrus rolls, each one a heartbeat of human thought held in soft silence. And there, rising before us, is the great library of Alexandria. Our story sets sail at the edge of the shimmering Mediterranean, where moonlight dances on gentle waves, casting silver trails across tiled courtyards, the night air scented with jasmine, honey, and the faint salt of the sea. Imagine the moon hanging low above marble columns. We step softly through an arched stone gate, the gentle sighs of poets long gone, and if you listen with her, you might hear the faint rustling of a papyrus sheet shifting, or the gentle hush of ink drying on parchment. Its columns seem to touch the stars, and lanterns flicker softly behind delicate lattice windows, as if time itself has fallen asleep, her dark hair adorned with tiny gold beads that catch each flicker like fireflies. Inside, the air is cool and fragrant, scented with old ink, beeswax candles, and the sweet sharpness of dried reeds. Our footsteps echo gently as we wander down endless rows of scrolls, each scroll taller than Cleopatra herself, each one a vessel of secrets, of love letters to the universe. Tonight, Cleopatra walks among them. Her white linen robes shimmer faintly in the lamplight. She walks slowly, almost floating. Her fingertips trail lightly along the scroll cases, as if greeting old friends. With each step, she breathes in the wisdom around her, the hush of ancient philosophers, the secrets of star maps. She pauses to listen. Feel the soft, velvety quiet of this space. Cleopatra leans closer to a shelf of scrolls on astronomy. She smiles softly, remembering how she would watch the stars from her palace rooftop, charting their paths like delicate dancers in the sky. In this library, she is not just a queen. She is a dreamer, a guardian of words and worlds unseen. Some say that Cleopatra could speak 9 languages, her voice smooth as silk, each word slipping from her lips like honey. The sound so soft it feels like the brush of a feather against your ear. As she reads the titles softly to herself, her voice seems to echo in your mind, wrapping around you like a comforting blanket. Past scholars' desks littered with small clay lamps, past baskets of red pens waiting patiently for their next story. Imagine that, her gentle whisper floating through the hall, a soft, rhythmic lullaby that echoes in the distance. She moves deeper into the library, past heavy cedar chests filled with sacred texts. A single cat, sleek and black, its eyes glowing like twin moons, follows her quietly, weaving between her ankles, purring in a low, soothing hum, casting long, dreamy shadows that dance like quiet spirits. Outside, a warm night breeze drifts through the high windows, carrying the scent of the harbor, salt, myrrh, and blooming lotus flowers, as if each scroll you pass absorbs your thoughts and transforms them into gentle of sailing past olive groves and secret harbors, guided by stars she has named in secret, Isis and Osiris, stories of rebirth and love beyond time, a sailor, a poet, a curious child, gazing up at the endless sky, of a mind so curious it glows brighter than any jewel in her royal diadem. Somewhere far below, the waves lap gently against stone docks. Cleopatra pauses before a grand scroll that tells of ancient gods. She closes her eyes and breathes deeply, as though taking those stories into her soul, holding them tenderly like a mother cradling a child. And the Nile carries whispers of distant fishermen singing to the stars. Her fingers brush over a map of distant lands, places where the sun rises in rose-gold flames and sets in pools of lavender mist, as though your mind is a small boat floating down a moonlit Nile. Gentle, smooth, imagine her lantern light flickering gently across the stone floor. She unties it slowly, reverently, as if unwrapping a secret meant only for her heart. You might feel your own breathing slow, your shoulders drop, your mind growing lighter. Cleopatra turns, her gaze soft and serene. She dreams of visiting those lands. In the kindness of Cleopatra's gaze, in the hush of this library, she can be anyone she wishes. Tonight, she shares that dream with you, a dream of words that glimmer like moonlit ripples, of stories that float across the sea like drifting lanterns. Outside the library walls, the city slumbers. Flickering oil lamps sway on balconies, sending tiny firefly sparks into the night. In hidden courtyards, fig trees rustle softly in the breeze. Cleopatra gathers her robe around her, the fine linen whispering like reeds along a riverbank. She picks up a small papyrus roll, tied delicately with a thin golden thread. She begins to read, her voice low and melodic, each word a note in a midnight lullaby. And as she reads, you feel yourself drifting further. The stars above shimmer like tiny bells, each one ringing out a silent blessing, calling you deeper into this soft, endless night. You are safe here, in the warmth of the library. Breathe in again, and let it go, even slower than before. You are floating now, with her, among scrolls and stars and soft, secret dreams. Cleopatra. She sits now in a quiet alcove of the library, a small marble bench carved with delicate lotus petals, and through it she can see the slow drift of constellations she has named in her heart. A single oil lamp flickering beside her, its tiny flame swaying like a sleepy dancer, almost like the quiet pulse of the Nile far below. Above her, a high-arched window opens to the sky, where turquoise rivers flow past temples hidden in emerald groves. She looks up, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. The gentle black cat curls at her feet, purring in a deep, soothing rhythm. Cleopatra lifts her scroll again. Her fingers move lightly over each line, as if she is playing a harp made of words. She reads about ancient distant lands, where golden dates fall into silver bowls. She whispers of distant traders who carry silk from faraway mountains, of ship captains who swear they have seen sea spirits guiding them through storms. As if your lashes are brushing through starlight, her voice is so soft, so smooth, like warm honey drizzling into a clay cup. The occasional sigh of a guard shifting in his armor. As she reads, the words seem to glow and float up into the air, drifting around you like tiny fireflies, each one carrying a gentle wish. You might feel your eyelids grow heavier now, each blink slower. It is said to hold verses written to the moon goddess herself, words so gentle they were only read at night, when the world was quiet enough to hear each sigh and whisper. Cleopatra pauses and closes her eyes, listening deeply to the sound of the night beyond the walls. the fabric falling silently like a petal drifting onto calm water, her eyes glowing in the lamplight, her breath a warm cloud in the hush of the night, a distant chorus of frogs by the river, the soft crackle of torches along the palace walls. All these sounds blend into one tender lullaby, a song meant to cradle the soul, its pale face bright with curiosity. She stands and moves toward a tall shelf where the scrolls of poetry rest, but also guardians of dreams, guiding wandering spirits safely back to the warmth of the body by morning. She selects a scroll tied with a violet ribbon. Cleopatra unties the ribbon, her fingers steady and graceful, a little guardian curled up at your side, keeping watch while you drift into the soft seas of your own dreams. She reads aloud again, each line rising and falling like the soft rhythm of waves, her gaze far away, beyond the horizon where the sea meets the stars. Moon of silver veils, keeper of my softest thoughts, carry my voice across the drifting sands, and faint music drifts across the waves, the distant echo of a flute, played by a watchman to keep himself company until dawn, listening to the gentle lap of the waves, the faraway flute's wistful song, its sails perfumed with cinnamon and frankincense, silken curtains billowing in the night breeze, smooth and deep, as if your body is rocking on a quiet tide, until it rests beneath your cool, endless glow. Each lamp a small, warm sun waiting to rise again, the entire city wrapped in one endless, tender breath. All your stories will be held in this gentle night. She smiles, floating gently like a lotus petal on the Nile, and together they curl into the hush of the library, the oil lamps flickering like tiny guardian stars above them. She imagines the moon as a quiet friend, a listening ear above the entire sleeping city. Perhaps tonight, as she reads, the moon leans a little closer to listen, past the horizon where Cleopatra's barge sails on forever, held in the gentle rocking lullaby of the sea. Cleopatra glances toward the cat at her feet. The cat stretches lazily, letting out a soft, yawning mewl before curling even tighter into a velvety coil. Some say cats in ancient Egypt were not only protectors of grain and home. Imagine that. Cleopatra sets the scroll aside and rises once more. She walks toward a balcony that opens out to the harbor below. There lanterns float gently on the water, bobbing like golden stars, caught in a quiet dance. The air is sweet with lotus and date blossom. Cleopatra leans on the marble balustrade, the cool stone soothing under her palms. She imagines herself aboard her royal barge again. On that barge, she feels free, floating through endless moonlit waters, each wave carrying her deeper into her dreams. She closes her eyes. Her breath slows. She is almost asleep herself now. The library behind her glows softly, each scroll a sleeping heart. You stand there with her, breathing in the salty night air. You might notice how your own breathing now matches the slow rhythm of the sea below. Cleopatra turns to you one last time tonight, her eyes soft and kind. She nods, as if to say, "You may rest now. Your dreams are safe here." She returns to her alcove, the cat padding softly beside her. Outside, the moon stands watch. The harbor lanterns sway like lullabies. You are safe, you are warm, and you are free to drift deeper and deeper. Breathe in softly, and as you exhale, imagine your body becoming weightless. Allow your mind to wander past the marble columns, past the moonlit rooftops. You are carried now, by soft waves and soft words, to wherever your sweetest dreams wait. Good night, gentle dreamer, sleep well, and may the stars guard your every sigh. We return now to the silent library, where Cleopatra rests among her scrolls and moonbeams. In this hidden corner, she lights one last small oil lamp, its glow golden and steady, like a tiny sunrise in the dark. She sits cross-legged on a woven red mat, the cat curled into a perfect circle beside her, breathing slow and deep. Carved with symbols of the lotus flower and the eye of Horus, symbols of renewal and watchful protection, before her lies a delicate box of ivory and ebony wood. Inside, she keeps her most precious scrolls. Secret poems she has written under the hush of midnight, words she has never shared, not even with her closest advisers. Cleopatra opens the box with the gentlest touch, the parchment so fine it crinkles like a whisper of wings. She unrolls one slowly. She reads aloud, "Though only the sleeping cat and the listening moon hear, in dreams my soul drifts beyond the desert sands, beyond the burning sun, beyond the rush of empire. There I find a river of stars, drifting one by one down an invisible moonlit river, each boat carrying a wish, or a soft, secret thought, its gaze so deep, it seems to see all the worlds beyond this one. Then it closes them again, purring low, as if humming an ancient lullaby only cats remember, where my heart sails free, guided by gentle winds of memory. The waves hush themselves to softer laps against the stone, waiting for that tender moment before the first bird's song, before the first golden blush of sunrise touches the sea. The bakers lighting their morning fires, the fishermen readying their nets, the scholars preparing fresh ink. As she reads, she imagines those words becoming tiny paper boats, a soft glow of love for her people, a love that stretches out beyond her palace walls, like moonlight on water. Can you see them? Each little boat bobbing lightly on the water, so quiet you can almost hear them sigh, like a silken net gently pulling her into deeper waters. Each star a tiny guardian watching over her as she slips deeper into her private ocean of dreams. Only soft waves and star-lanterned skies. She sets the scroll aside and closes her eyes, her breathing even, her shoulders soft and unguarded, casting delicate shadows of lotus petals and reeds along the marble walls, its sails glowing like pearls under the moon. Soft harp music floating from the deck, each note drifting high into the sky like dandelion seeds. The oil lamp flickers again, its flames swaying gently. In this moment, the entire library feels alive, as if every scroll, every papyrus, every careful stroke of ink is holding its own dream. Your mind, like a smooth pool of water, unbroken and clear, the kind of breath that holds you safe, the kind that lets you sink beneath the surface of sleep without a single ripple. The cat stretches and opens its golden eyes for a moment, the promise of a new day breathing softly into the night's final moments, into the endless soft sea of your own quiet dreams. Cleopatra feels the soft weight of sleep tugging at her mind. May every breeze carry only sweet dreams, and may every wave whisper. Outside, the moon glides across the sky, higher and higher, like a quiet sentinel keeping watch over the dreaming city. The harbor's lanterns grow fainter, the flute song fades into the hush of dawn. Every scroll, every page, every word, content to rest, to wait for morning's gentle return. The entire world seems to hold its breath. Cleopatra thinks of all the people who will awaken soon. She feels a gentle warmth in her chest. She sighs, long and slow, her mind already halfway between waking and dreaming. In her drifting thoughts, she sails again on her royal barge. She lies back, feeling the gentle rocking beneath her, a cradle made of stars and water. Above her, constellations shimmer, Orion's belt, the gentle curl of the Great Bear. In this place, there is no empire to rule, no political games, no demands. She feels her spirit become light as a feather, free to drift wherever the night wind carries her. Cleopatra finally closes her eyes completely. The cat snuggles closer, placing its soft paw against her wrist, as if to say, "I will guard you." The oil lamp burns lower and lower, its final glow casting a last embrace across her peaceful face. A hush settles over the entire library, like a great, silent sigh of relief. Outside, the first hint of dawn glows faintly at the horizon, a pale lavender blush against the dark sea. And you lie still now. Your breathing is slow, easy. You are drifting past moonlit harbors, past sleeping cats and whispering scrolls, past Cleopatra's dreaming barge. In that space, you are free. You can sail any river, explore any library, walk any moonlit garden, and as you float there, you feel a warmth in your chest too. A quiet joy, a gentle gratitude, like holding a candle inside your heart. Tonight, may every star above you shine kindly. You are safe, you are loved, you may rest now. Sleep well, dear dreamer, until the first golden rays return to greet you. Good night. Outside, the first lavender blush of dawn has just begun to kiss the horizon, but inside the library, the night still lingers like a warm, protective blanket. Cleopatra sleeps peacefully on her red mat, her cat curled like a perfect little moon at her side. As she dreams, she finds herself wandering through a secret garden hidden deep beneath the palace, a garden known only to her, their flames shimmering like stars caught in dewdrops. This garden is lit by hundreds of tiny clay lamps, each floating gently on small pools of water. The air smells of jasmine and sweet blue lotus, drifting in gentle waves that lull her deeper into her own inner kingdom, each step cooled by smooth stones, each echo a soft hush guiding her forward, their scales flickering like shifting gold coins in the moonlight. In this dream garden, marble paths twist softly beneath her bare feet. She passes silent pools where sacred koi glide beneath lily pads. Above, tall date palms sway, leaves whispering secrets known only to the stars. Upon it rests a single papyrus scroll, tied with a golden cord. Cleopatra moves to a quiet corner where a circular stone table stands. This scroll is special. It contains wishes, not commands, not royal decrees, but gentle hopes whispered to the night. She unties the cord slowly, her fingers graceful as drifting petals. As she unrolls it, the symbols glow faintly, as if each hieroglyph is alive and breathing. She reads in a voice so soft, it sounds like the rustle of silk. Her titles, her burdens, her histories, they dissolve into stardust. I wish for the Nile to carry dreams as it carries silt. I wish for each heart to hold a secret garden. I wish for the stars to cradle every wandering soul until it finds its gentle shore. Images of the library's scrolls, of moonlit harbors, of gentle faces waiting in the morning markets, a sign that dawn is almost here. She smiles, her eyes misted with softness, her breath a warm breeze in this private oasis, each touch sending a soft, tingling warmth up her arms. In the dream, she feels the walls of her palace fade away. All that remains is her heart, pulsing quietly like a hidden drum beneath 1,000 veils. A soft bell chimes somewhere beyond the garden, echoing, faint and sweet. But Cleopatra lingers a moment longer. She kneels at the water's edge and dips her fingers in. The surface shimmers, and she sees visions drift across it, then places it into a small carved box shaped like a lotus bud. A stillness so complete that even the garden seems to pause. as if holding its breath in reverence. She whispers to the water, her words turning into tiny, glowing ripples. Carry these dreams for me. Let them find new homes in every heart that listens tonight. The koi swim up to greet her fingers, brushing her skin like silk ribbons, her bare feet brushing petals, each step a silent blessing to the earth below. She closes her eyes again, feeling the warmth spread across her whole body, like slipping into a bath of moonlight. Far above, the moon begins its final descent, leaving a trail of silver dust across the sky. The cat lifts its head slightly, blinks its golden eyes, and nuzzles against her hand before settling again with a deep, contented sigh, wrapping you, too, in their hushed, comforting embrace. The first birds begin their morning songs, gentle, hesitant notes that sound like small, sleepy yawns, floating on the edge of wakefulness, yet so deeply anchored in peace. Cleopatra rises, her movements slow and fluid, like water flowing over smooth stones. She ties the golden cord back around the scroll, sealing her wishes inside. As she holds the box to her chest, a deep calm settles into her. Slowly, she walks back through the winding paths. She returns to the marble archway that leads her out of the dream. She glances back once more, her eyes soft with gratitude, as if saying farewell to an old friend. Then she steps through, and the garden dissolves into a swirl of starlight. May your heart find only gentle shores. Past the garden, past the library, into the sweetest, most tender rest. Back in the library, Cleopatra stirs on her mat. The oil lamp beside her finally flickers out, its last glow curling into the morning air like a sleepy exhale. Outside, the first golden rays of the sun slip across the harbor, illuminating the quiet ships and gentle waves. Alexandria stirs softly, the city's heartbeat quickening in the tender embrace of morning. But here, in the silent library, the night's dreams still linger like a warm mist. Your own body feels heavy and light all at once. Your thoughts drift like petals on a slow river, each breath another soft wave carrying you further and further into your own garden of dreams. There, you are free to wander moonlit paths, listen to koi in sacred pools, hold your own secret scroll of wishes close to your chest. Feel the safety, the warmth, the gentle invitation to let go. You are safe. You are cherished. You are exactly where you need to be. And now, you may let yourself drift deeper and deeper. Good night, dear dreamer. We return now to Cleopatra. The sun has begun to rise over Alexandria, painting the harbor in shimmering streaks of rose gold and pale lavender. The hush of the night lingers in every scroll, in every shadow, as if time itself wants to rest a moment longer. She stretches her arms above her head, her fingers grazing the cool morning air, but inside the library it is still so quiet. Cleopatra sits up slowly, her hair spilling like dark silk over her shoulders. The cat beside her yawns, revealing tiny pearl teeth, and curls around her ankles in greeting. This cabinet is ancient, older than the library itself, a secret gift from distant scholars who once visited her court, carrying knowledge from far-off mountains and moonlit deserts. The early sunlight reaches in through the high windows, touching the scrolls with shy, golden fingers. She rises, stepping lightly across the marble floor. Cleopatra moves toward a tall cedar cabinet in the corner of the library, remembering that the ancient Egyptians believed dreams were journeys taken by the soul while the body rested, and that each dream carried messages from the gods. Each firefly a small lantern, lighting the way deeper into the night's mysteries. Inside, there is a collection of dream maps. She kneels, cupping the cool moon-kissed water in her hands, delicate parchments showing the hidden pathways of the mind, how thoughts wander, how wishes bloom, how memories swirl in the softest corners of sleep. She chooses one gently, unrolling it across a smooth marble table. The map shimmers faintly, lines of silver ink winding like rivers, dotted with tiny stars and lotus flowers, each curve and swirl representing a dream that someone, somewhere, once whispered into the night. And further still, toward a distant constellation shaped like a boat sailing across the sky, beyond the garden, beyond the orchard, beyond the sleeping city, Cleopatra traces one path with her fingertip, following it from the banks of the Nile, through whispering reeds, into an orchard where pomegranates glow like lanterns. As her finger drifts, she smiles softly. The map before her now seems to glow a little brighter, as if it heard her whisper and answered in its own quiet language. Small figures move like gentle shadows, bakers lighting ovens, fishermen casting nets, children stirring beneath soft blankets. The horizon shimmering softly, promising new stories, new discoveries. She closes her eyes, imagining her spirit stepping into this map, like the echo of a distant drum, calling you further into your own restful depths. She lingers in the hush between night and morning, savoring the last threads of dream woven through her thoughts, feeling its softness, tracing its delicate lines, letting it guide you through the lush gardens and soft moonlit waters of your own spirit. She places a hand gently over her heart, and then over yours, as if to say, they are precious seeds waiting to bloom in the stillness of night. Barefoot on the starlit paths, the scent of jasmine and warm earth guiding her onward. Then it turns and follows her inside, leaving the balcony awash in the gentle glow of morning. In her mind, she passes a garden where golden fireflies dance above dew-speckled roses. She reaches a gentle pond, so still it reflects every star in perfect detail. The water feels like liquid silk, slipping between her fingers, leaving a delicate shimmer behind. Your thoughts moving like little lanterns on a quiet pond, deeper into your softest, quietest dreams. She whispers into the pond, carried on soft breezes, rocked by the distant song of the sea. May every wandering heart find its shore. May every weary soul discover its gentle star. May every dream bloom like a lotus in morning light. Ripples spread across the pond, carrying her wishes outward. She feels a soft warmth spread through her chest, a comforting glow that wraps around her like a velvet cloak. Slowly, she opens her eyes again in the library. She rolls it up carefully, ties it with a silver thread, and places it back inside the cedar cabinet. The cat watches her with half-closed eyes, purring in a low, steady rhythm. Cleopatra walks to the balcony once more, gazing at the city now waking below. She breathes deeply, the scent of warm bread and sea salt filling her lungs. But she does not step fully into the day yet. She closes her eyes one more time, letting her mind drift back to the garden, to the koi, to the silver paths on the dream map. You, too, might feel yourself floating now, your breath as slow and gentle as you might imagine holding your own dream map in your hands. With each exhale, you feel lighter, as if you, too, could step into the map and walk barefoot among stars and lotus petals. Cleopatra stands quietly, her presence a soft warmth beside you. Carry your dreams gently, dear one. She bows her head slightly, a final blessing before stepping back into her silent sanctuary. The cat gives you one last sleepy glance, its golden eyes half-lidded with trust, and you'll rest here now, in the sweet hush between worlds. You feel the warmth of the rising sun kiss your forehead, and at the same time, the cool silver light of the moon still lingers at your fingertips. You are held in both worlds, safe, cherished, free to drift as far as you wish tonight. Breathe in softly, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking deeper. Tonight, May your map lead you to secret gardens, moonlit ponds, and all the gentle stars you have ever longed to touch. Good night, gentle dreamer. Sleep deeply, and may you awaken with a heart full of shimmering petals. We return to Cleopatra as the city of Alexandria glimmers beneath the new sun. Yet in her heart she still carries the hush of night. After stepping back inside from the balcony, Cleopatra sits at a low marble table where a small copper basin rests, filled with fresh water scented with blue lotus petals. She dips her hands in, slowly, feeling the coolness embrace her fingers. Then she lifts her palms to her face, letting droplets trail down her cheeks like tiny morning rivers. As the water trickles, she remembers an ancient belief, that each drop carries the blessings of the Nile, that even the tiniest pool echoes the great river's timeless spirit. She closes her eyes, feeling those blessings soak into her skin, into her very breath. The library remains hushed, though small sunbeams now climb shyly across the floors, touching the edges of scrolls and gently coaxing shadows to dance. Cleopatra rises and moves to a corner where a long wooden chest sits, carved with lotus flowers and tiny falcons. Inside this chest are her moon scrolls, delicate sheets of papyrus, written only by moonlight, with ink made from crushed lapis and midnight oil. She unrolls one carefully, and you might imagine the soft, rustling sound, like silk being unfolded in a quiet chamber. The scroll reveals gentle incantations, not spells to control, but whispers to heal, to calm, to guide wandering hearts safely back to themselves. Cleopatra reads aloud, her voice low and flowing like a quiet river. O moon, that cradles every hidden tear, O stars that guard each silent wish, guide the dreamers beyond their fears, wrap them in your shimmering hush. Each syllable sinking deeper into the marble floors, into the papyrus shelves, into the air itself. She repeats these words, each time soft. It is said that when these moon scrolls are read, invisible threads drift out like gossamer, weaving protection and sweetness into every sleeping mind within earshot. Perhaps you feel those threads now, silken, delicate, wrapping you in a safe, soft cocoon, floating across time, across oceans, reaching even you, here, listening tonight. Cleopatra pauses, closing her eyes, and places both hands lightly on the scroll. In this moment, she sends quiet blessings, far beyond the library walls, beyond the harbor, beyond the desert dunes. She imagines each blessing like a small pearl, glowing softly, dropping gently into the sea of your dreams. She opens her eyes and smiles, a smile so gentle, it feels like a warm hand smoothing your hair as you drift. In the corner, the cat begins to purr again, a slow rumble that rises and falls, like distant thunder rolling across a velvet sky. Cleopatra carefully rolls up the moon scroll, ties it with a pale ribbon, and places it back in the chest. Inside each jar is a different scent: cedarwood, frankincense, myrrh, wild rose, and blue lotus. She lingers over the chest a moment longer, her fingertips resting lightly on the carved lotus flowers, as though listening to their quiet secrets. Then she stands and moves to a small alcove, where a set of alabaster jars wait. She lifts each jar slowly, inhaling the scent, letting it travel deep into her spirit. Each touch a silent vow to stay close to the gentle, hidden places within. When she breathes in the blue lotus, her shoulders soften even more, as if a heavy cloak has slipped away. She mixes a few drops of the blue lotus oil with water and anoints her wrists, her forehead, and her heart. She sits back down now, folding her legs beneath her, and rests her hands softly in her lap. Her eyelids flutter like moonlit moths before closing completely. In her mind, she returns to her secret garden, where the koi swim beneath lily pads, and moon petals drift across mirrored ponds. She imagines planting a seed there, a tiny seed made of starlight and whispered wishes. In your own heart, perhaps you feel this seed too, a small, glowing spark resting softly in the quiet soil of your spirit. Cleopatra watches it sprout, slowly unfurling delicate petals that shimmer in moonlight colors. Silvers, blues, soft lavenders, each petal carries a promise. The promise of rest beyond all worries, the promise of dreams that heal, the promise of awakening with a heart lighter than dawn mist, as if protected by an invisible veil woven from moonlight and blue lotus breath. She places her palm above the tiny bloom, not touching, just hovering, sharing warmth and blessing. The flower seems to sigh, opening even wider, as if stretching into the tender hush between heartbeats. As though your bones are melting into the softest silken sea, the cat still beside her curls into a perfect circle, purring so faintly now that it feels like a pulse echoing from another world. Outside, Alexandria begins to buzz softly. Fishermen calling, market stalls opening, morning doves cooing among palm fronds. But here in the library all remains still. Cleopatra breathes deeply, her body and spirit sinking into the gentle weight of safety, of surrender. You, to feel this softness, this deep permission to let go, to rest, to dream without borders or burdens. Your breath grows slower, your body heavier, into the warm, star-laced cradle of your sweetest dreams. You are safe. You are held, you are allowed to drift, farther and farther, beyond any thought, beyond any sound. And as Cleopatra sits, tending her moon-blossom garden within, you feel your own dream garden blooming quietly inside you. May it grow in softness, may it shelter you tonight and all the nights to come. Good night, gentle dreamer. Let yourself slip ever deeper and deeper still. Tonight, we follow Cleopatra beyond the library walls. The moon has climbed high above Alexandria, painting the harbor in pale silver. Each wave shivers with quiet starlight. Cleopatra stands at the water's edge, her robe flowing behind her like a shadowy river, her hair pinned with tiny pearl combs that catch the moonlight and scatter it in delicate sparks, a vessel as graceful as a swan. Its sails dye deep purple, stitched with threads of gold that gleam like falling stars. She has come to visit the royal barge. The sailors move quietly, their feet barely brushing the polished wooden deck, as if afraid to wake the sleeping sea. She pauses, feeling the gentle sway of the boat beneath her feet, as though she is already floating in a dream. Cleopatra steps aboard, her sandals making a soft hush against the deck. She bows her head, pressing her palms together in a silent greeting to the river spirit. She accepts it gently, her fingers brushing the cool rim like a soft breeze across your forehead. To sail upon it at night is to travel through the dreams of the land itself. At the bow, a small altar stands, adorned with blue lotus flowers, small ivory figurines, and bowls of sweet myrrh. Each constellation a story, softly folded in the night's hands. The far-off sighs of night birds, hidden among palm fronds, a melody that winds through the heart like a silken thread, gathering every stray worry and tucking it away. Legend says that the Nile is a living being, a great serpent that cradles Egypt in its winding embrace, her eyes reflecting the wide, endless sky above. The stars look close enough to pluck and tuck into her hair like tiny lanterns. She reaches down, trailing her fingers in the cool river water, floating on that moonlit water, each note brushing your forehead like a soft, cooling hand. Tiny whirlpools bloom in her wake, little spirals of silver light. She closes her eyes, hearing the faint lap of water against the hull, the whisper of reeds along the shore. She smiles, sensing the presence of old river gods, guardians of dreams, slipping silently between the reeds. For a moment, she looks not like a queen, but like a drifting spirit, a soft shape woven of moonlight and blue lotus perfume. A servant approaches, offering her a small clay cup of honeyed wine, perfumed with petals. She sips slowly. The taste is sweet and warm, sinking into her chest, uncoiling like a golden ribbon. As the barge drifts away from shore, Cleopatra leans against the railing. She imagines each star as a secret waiting to be shared. The boat glides past sleeping lotus blooms, their pale faces turned toward the moon. Your thoughts loosening, untying like a moored boat slipping out to sea. She hums softly now, a lullaby known only to the queens of her line, passed down in hushed twilight hours. Each breath a lullaby echoing in the warm hollows of your chest. Hush now, gentle river, hold me in your gentle palm. She lifts her hands to the sky, as if gathering the stars and pressing them gently to her heart. Cradle all my secrets, rock me in your moonlit calm, a moonlit guardian who watches over every drifting soul, including yours, and each one carries a dream just for you, leaving only a trail of shimmering ripples and the gentle echo of her lullaby, a blessing to carry as you drift into your sweetest, deepest dreams tonight. Calm, luminous, so very far from any worry or noise, carry all my sorrows down to where the stars are born, until the dawn kisses your forehead, and you rise filled with starlight. Her breath slows, sinking with the slow pulse of the river. Leave me light as lotus petals at the hush of dawn. As she sings, you might feel your own spirit rocking gently. The night deepens. The stars seem to draw closer until they are so near that their light feels like dew on your skin. A soft breeze stirs Cleopatra's robe, lifting it in a quiet dance. She leans over the side of the boat, gazing at her reflection. She whispers into the water, to the ones who listen beyond the hush. May your dreams be soft as silken sails. May your heart be light as the starlit tide. May your sleep be deeper than the Nile at midnight. The river carries her whisper away, scattering it among the lotus blooms and weaving it into the quiet song of the night. In this gentle darkness, Cleopatra closes her eyes, resting her forehead against the cool railing. You, too, feel yourself drifting. Each wave beneath you is like a soft, rocking cradle. Perhaps you see your own reflection in the river now. You might imagine small, starlight fish gliding beneath the surface, their fins glinting like tiny jewels. Cleopatra stands slowly, her eyes half-lidded with serene warmth. In that moment, she becomes a vessel of quiet blessings. She lowers her hands, rests them lightly over her heart, and turns to look at you. Though her gaze is silent, it is filled with a softness so deep it feels like a warm blanket wrapped around your entire spirit. She offers you a small nod. The barge glides on, vanishing into the soft violet mist that hugs the river's curves. And you float here now, suspended between stars and water, safe as a pearl in its shell. Your breath is slow, your mind light as drifting feathers. May you rest tonight cradled in moonlit waves. May every dream bloom in quiet, silvery light. Good night, gentle dreamer. May you drift ever deeper, ever softer. We find Cleopatra again, as the royal barge glides toward a hidden cove along the Nile. The moon hangs lower now, like a silver fruit just out of reach. The river banks glow softly under its watchful gaze. At the water's edge, a secret garden waits, a place known only to the queen and a few loyal priests, their petals only open at night. glowing faintly as if lit from within. This garden is woven from moonflowers and pale water lilies. Cleopatra steps from the barge, her sandals pressing into the cool, damp earth. She feels the soft give of moss underfoot, like a gentle sigh welcoming her home. The water trickles slowly, singing a song so delicate it sounds like a distant harp heard through a dream. She pauses at a stone basin fed by a tiny waterfall. In this garden, she performs a midnight ritual, said to bring clarity to the heart and lightness to the spirit. She kneels before the basin, scooping the moonlit water into her hands. It shimmers like liquid stars, slipping through her fingers and returning to the pool with soft, secretive. Above her, the branches of sacred sycamore fig trees sway gently, whispering old lullabies from the time of the first pharaohs. If you listened closely enough, you might hear the voices of ancestors floating in their leaves. Gentle echoes that sound like distant chimes carried on a midnight breeze. The priests believed that fig trees held doorways to other worlds, and begins a slow, rhythmic chant. Cleopatra listens now, her eyes half closed, her breathing even and slow. Perhaps you, too, can hear a faint rustling in your mind. She rises, her fingers dripping with starlit water, and moves to a circle of smooth stones in the center of the garden, loosening the tight knots that sometimes live behind your ribs. Here, each stone represents a wish, a promise, a memory, gathered over years of secret visits and moonlit confessions. You can imagine each word as a small pearl slipping into a clear pond, leaving delicate rings that drift out into your dreams. She lights it, the flame flickering like a small, sleepy star. She sits among them, palms resting lightly on her knees. It watches the queen and the stones, as if guarding the threshold between waking and dreaming. Each petal now, a soft beacon guiding your spirit deeper into rest, reaching you across the hush of night. Light within, guide my sight. Then slowly, she lowers her forehead to the earth before the lamp. Stars above, hold my heart. Carried far beyond the garden, beyond the river, beyond the stars, a shimmering pool where no fear remains, sending small blessings stitched into the fabric of night. Waters below, wash my sorrow, each one becoming a wisp of smoke rising into the moonlit sky. She scatters them around the circle of stones, each petal drifting down like a silent wish, like a quiet shell resting on the ocean floor, more like a stone warmed by the sun, ready to sleep beneath cool, gentle waves. Lotus bloom, grant tomorrow's light. Each line is a soft ripple, a gentle wave flowing outward. You might feel it now. A hush wrapping around your forehead, around your chest. You are free to drift wherever the moonlight guides you. The chant goes on, her voice so soft it is almost a part of the wind. Nearby, a pale owl perches silently on a fig branch, its wide eyes gleaming like tiny moons. Cleopatra lifts a small clay lamp filled with oil and places it on a central stone, her spirit floating far beyond thought, deeper into the warm sea of dreams. The glow catches on the moonflowers, turning them into quiet lanterns. She cups her hands around the flame, protecting it from even the gentlest breezes. In this moment, she offers up her worries. Perhaps you can imagine your own worries now, each one a tiny feather lifting softly away on a silver breeze. As she sits back up, her eyes glisten with a calm softness. She reaches for a small basket beside her, filled with freshly picked blue lotus petals. When the petals touch the ground, they seem to glow for a heartbeat, as if acknowledging your presence, your dreams, your quiet hopes. Cleopatra smiles, a slow, serene curve that feels like warm moonlight on your cheek. She leans back, resting on her hands, gazing up at the endless night sky. Her mind drifts to faraway constellations. She imagines each star as a gentle eye watching over her, watching over you. The owl flutters down, landing close by. It tilts its head, as though listening to her silent thoughts. Cleopatra closes her eyes fully now, her breath deep, even. The garden holds her in a cradle of petals and stones and moonlight. You, too, are held softly, perfectly. Your body feels heavy, but not in a burdensome way. As her breathing slows, you might hear a faint echo in your own heart, a quiet voice saying, "You are safe. You are enough." The owl blinks once, twice, then takes flight, its wings slicing silently through the dark. Carrying your dreams on its feathery sails, the small flame at the center stone flickers, then, as if keeping watch while you sleep, Cleopatra, serene and glowing with moonborn calm, lies back on a bed of lotus petals. You are there with her, drifting deeper into the garden's hush. There is no hurry here, only softness, only silver echoes and quiet petals. Good night, gentle dreamer. May the moon cradle you, may the river sing to you, and may your spirit bloom like a hidden night flower. We return now to Cleopatra, gliding across the early morning gardens toward the royal palace. The palace stands like a pale mirage above the Nile, its walls kissed by the first blush of sunlight. Columns rise into the sky like giant reeds, and everywhere small birds flit among the carved capitals, whispering dawn's secrets. She breathes deeply, taking in the scent of lotus and river wind. The day ahead is full of counsels, letters, petitions, yet in this moment she holds only stillness. They ripple faintly when a breeze wanders through, like the sigh of a distant harp string. Cleopatra pauses at the palace gates, resting her fingers on the cool limestone. Servants bow their heads as she passes, their eyes lowered, but in the corners of their lips a faint softness, a warmth that only true respect can bring, as if each breath invites you deeper into a hidden forest of thought. Inside, marble corridors stretch in soft labyrinths, echoing with the hush of early footsteps. Each hall is lined with woven mats and soft curtains dyed with indigo and saffron, a sanctuary of scrolls, ink pots, and smooth reed pens. She moves soundlessly, her robe trailing behind her like a pale morning mist. She reaches a small door carved with symbols of Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, the god of secret thoughts. Beyond the door lies her private study, a chamber known to almost no one. She rolls out a fresh papyrus sheet, the fibers smooth and cool under her fingertips, illuminating a low writing table where a bronze oil lamp flickers gently, its flame as small and brave as a baby bird's heart. The air inside is scented with cedar and the sweet resin of papyrus. Its coo is so soft, so round, that it feels like a small hand stroking the back of your mind. She writes of her dreams, of gardens beyond the horizon, of libraries that breathed with living memory, of voices she hears in the hush before dawn, Greek poetry, Egyptian hymns to the stars, records of distant battles, secret recipes for perfumes and healing salves. Each sentence a soft lullaby only the morning sun might overhear. Along the walls, tall wooden shelves cradle scrolls collected from every corner of the known world. A single window lets in a delicate beam of morning light. The ink lines become constellations, a private sky she has built for herself and for you. Cleopatra sits slowly, the cushion beneath her sighing softly. A chest filled with hundreds of her secret letters to the night. She dips her red pen into dark ink, made from soot and honey, and begins to write. Her eyes drift to the window, to the dove who now preens its feathers in slow, rhythmic motions. The first strokes come like soft waves, lapping at a moonlit shore. Each letter a careful breath, a whisper to the universe. each droplet falling into the basin like tiny crystal bells, soft, clear, and round. They are meant for her spirit alone, and perhaps, tonight, for yours too. She drapes it over her shoulders, the fabric whispering against her skin, each drop a soft footstep leading you down a long, hushed hallway, feels the curve of the earth, gently rocking her, as if she were a small boat on starlit water, then turns toward the door, carrying with her the stillness she's gathered. To the moon who listens, a place no sound can disturb, no worry can enter. To the stars who guard, to the river who carries all my secrets. She pauses. The ink shines for a moment before sinking into the page, into dreams soft as lotus petals floating on moonlit water, where scrolls glow faintly, and each breath tastes of dawn and moonlight. Outside the window, a single dove lands on the sill, a soft cradle carrying you deeper and deeper into rest. Cleopatra smiles, her eyes bright yet heavy with tenderness. She writes of love, too. Love not only for people, but for the curve of the Nile at sunset, for the way a lotus opens to the moon, for the silent wisdom of cats who watch her in the shadows. Each word is a petal, drifting from her mind into the papyrus. When she finishes, she holds the sheet up to the light, watching it glow faintly. She folds the papyrus carefully and tucks it into a small cedar chest beside her. These letters are never meant to be read aloud in the throne room, never meant for ambassadors or scholars. She closes the chest with a gentle click, the sound like a final note of a harp fading into moonlight. Cleopatra stands, stretches her fingers as if shaking off a delicate dream. She presses a hand to her chest, breathes in the warmth of the lamp, the ink, the dawn. In that hush, she feels her pulse slow, feels the echo of distant waves on the Nile. Perhaps you feel it too now, that same gentle rocking in your ribs. She moves to a bronze basin of cool water, washing the ink from her fingers. The sound lulls you even further. Cleopatra takes a fresh robe, woven of pale linen, so fine it looks like spun moonlight. She takes one last look at her secret letters. Outside, the palace begins to stir. Echoing voices, gentle footsteps, the scent of honey cakes and pomegranate tea drifting through the air. But inside her heart, and inside yours, there remains a quiet garden of ink and stars. As she steps into the brightening hall, you feel your own spirit slip softly into that hidden chamber. You are safe here, wrapped in ink-scented whispers and feather-soft. You may drift now into a sleep deeper than any Nile pool. Good night, luminous one. May your dreams carry secret letters to the stars. May your heart be a quiet library at dawn. And may you awaken knowing that every whisper of your spirit has been heard. Return to Cleopatra one last time. As she steps from her private library into the palace corridor, her spirit carrying the hush of ink and the warmth of the morning sun. The halls glow with gentle light now. Woven mats warmed beneath her feet, and small golden bowls filled with rose water scent the air like drifting sighs. As she passes beneath, a light breeze gathers her robe and plays with the edges, like a kitten pawing at moonbeams. Outside, the gardens call to her. She steps quietly through an arched doorway, carved with lotus blossoms and tiny stars. The garden greets her with a soft chorus. White doves flutter from branch to branch, pomegranate trees sway, their blossoms trembling with the weight of dew. In the center of the garden stands a small marble fountain, its waters rising and falling in slow, soothing waves. Cleopatra kneels beside the fountain, dips her hands into the cool, shimmering pool. The water slips between her fingers like liquid silver, each droplet catching the morning light before sinking back into the basin. She closes her eyes, listens to the secret music of water, the hush of leaves, the gentle tap of a single falling blossom. Here she lets all thoughts drift away, the weight of royal duties, the hum of political whispers, the dreams of 1,000 ancestors, they all slip from her shoulders like a soft shawl. It pauses beside the fountain, lowers its head, and sips the water with delicate, rhythmic laps. Its fur pale as starlight, its eyes shimmering like two tiny emerald pools. She is simply a woman in the soft embrace of a morning garden, a soul among petals and fountains, and the gentle hum of life awakening. She focuses only on her breath, in and out, as steady and soft as the Nile's tide under a new moon. Small sparrows dart and spin, weaving a gentle song that carries on the breeze. Perhaps, if you listen closely, you can hear your own breath following hers, to quiet rivers meeting in a moonlit delta, a silent prayer to the morning, to the ancestors, to the stars who still glow faintly above the sun's rising blush. She opens her eyes to watch a small cat appear at the garden's edge. She knows the day will bring choices, letters, meetings, gifts from distant lands. The cat steps carefully toward her, its paws silent on the stone path. A sanctuary where every breath is a promise to be gentle, to be kind to her own spirit. Cleopatra smiles, her eyes tender and dreamy. She reaches out slowly, and the cat leans into her palm, purring so faintly it sounds like the echo of a faraway drum. In this moment, she is not a queen, not a ruler of empires. She presses her forehead to the cat's, sharing a quiet greeting. No words, just warmth, just the language of heartbeats. Overhead, the sky has turned a soft, endless blue, brushed with wisps of pearl and gold. She stands slowly, gathers her robe, and looks to the horizon. The Nile gleams in the distance, its wide curve glistening like a polished mirror offered to the heavens. The sense that you, too, can step away from the weight of the day. Hear the fountain's gentle song. Sense the cat's quiet purr echoing in your chest. That you can find a small fountain in your heart, where every thought can pause and rest. But for now, she is wrapped in a cocoon of early light and soft shadows. She lifts her hands, palms open to the sky. May the day unfold like a lotus. May each step echo the kindness of the river. May each thought drift softly as a feather across the heart. She lowers her hands, smiles once more at the cat, who now curls among the pebbles, its eyes half closed in blissful drowsiness. Then she turns slowly, walking back through the arched doorway, into the warmth of the palace. As her figure recedes, you feel a gentle hush settle over your own mind. Let your breath slow now. Each inhale a moonbeam, each exhale a falling blossom. Your body grows heavy, your spirit light, like a feather drifting down to a bed of lotus petals. In your mind's eye, you stand in that garden one last time. Feel the breeze slip past your cheeks. All the whispers of the palace fade. All the distant worries blur into soft, harmless mist. There is only stillness here, and a soft, golden warmth holding you. As Cleopatra was held by the morning, take one more long, gentle breath. May your dreams tonight be as tender as lotus petals on a silver pond. May you wake with the hush of dawn resting in your bones. May you carry the softness of this garden wherever you walk. Sleep now, luminous one. Float into the quiet Nile of your dreams, carried softly, endlessly, gently. Good night, good morning, and sweetest, deepest rest.